Lyndon Baines Johnson, often referred to as LBJ, ascended to the presidency in 1963 following the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy. Inheriting a nation grappling with social unrest and economic disparities, Johnson envisioned a bold future for America, a great society that would uplift its citizens and eradicate poverty. Driven by a profound sense of social justice and a belief in the power of government to effect change, LBJ embarked on an ambitious legislative agenda. His vision was sweeping, encompassing a wide range of social ills, from racial discrimination to educational inequality. Johnson's Great Society was not merely a collection of programs, but a call to action, a challenge to the nation to live up to its highest ideals. He believed that America had a moral obligation to care for its most vulnerable citizens and to create a society where opportunity was available to all, regardless of race, background, or economic status. This vision, rooted in the progressive ideals of the early 20th century and fueled by the civil rights movement's urgency, would leave an indelible mark on American society. The 1960s were a period of profound transformation and upheaval in the United States. The civil rights movement, gaining momentum throughout the decade, challenged deeply ingrained racial segregation and discrimination. The Vietnam War escalated, dividing the nation and sparking widespread protests. Against this backdrop of social and political turbulence, LBJ launched his ambitious Great Society programs. The nation grappled with issues of poverty, racial injustice, and access to healthcare and education. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, a landmark achievement of the movement, outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Yet, despite this victory, the struggle for equality continued, highlighting the deep-seated nature of prejudice and the need for comprehensive social reforms. The Great Society encompassed a vast array of programs aimed at addressing social and economic inequality. Key among these initiatives were Medicare and Medicaid, landmark healthcare programs that revolutionized access to medical care for millions of Americans. Medicare, established in 1965, provided health insurance to Americans aged 65 and older, a population often burdened by rising healthcare costs. Medicaid, launched alongside Medicare, aimed to provide healthcare coverage to low-income individuals and families, expanding access to healthcare for the nation's most vulnerable citizens. Education reform was another cornerstone of the Great Society. Recognizing that education was the key to opportunity, Johnson pushed for increased federal funding for schools, particularly those in low-income areas. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, a landmark piece of legislation, directed federal funds to schools with high concentrations of low-income students, aiming to bridge the educational gap between affluent and disadvantaged communities. The Higher Education Act of 1965 expanded access to college by providing grants and loans to students, making higher education a reality for millions of Americans. Section 4, Triumphs and Tribulations, Assessing the Impact. The Great Society programs had a profound and lasting impact on American society. Medicare and Medicaid dramatically increased access to healthcare, significantly reducing the number of uninsured Americans. The poverty rate declined substantially during the 1960s, a testament to the impact of social safety net programs. Educational opportunities expanded, with high school and college graduation rates rising steadily. However, the Great Society was not without its critics. Some argued that the programs were too costly and created a culture of dependency. Others contended that the programs were inefficient and bureaucratic, failing to effectively address the root causes of poverty. The Vietnam War, which escalated during Johnson's presidency, diverted resources away from domestic programs and fueled social unrest, making it challenging to fully implement and fund the ambitious goals of the Great Society. Section 5, Echoes of the Great Society, A Lasting Legacy. Despite the criticisms, the Great Society left an enduring legacy on American society. Medicare and Medicaid remain cornerstones of the American healthcare system, providing essential coverage to millions. Federal funding for education continues to support schools in low-income areas, although disparities persist. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 remains a landmark achievement, paving the way for greater equality and opportunity. The Great Society's emphasis on social justice and its commitment to using government as a force for good continue to resonate today. The programs initiated during this era, laid the foundation for future social welfare programs, and continue to shape debates about the role of government in addressing social and economic inequality. Section 6. The Unfinished Symphony, Challenges and Critiques. The Great Society, while ambitious and impactful, was not a panacea for all of America's social ills. Poverty, while significantly reduced, persisted, and racial inequality remained a pressing issue. The Vietnam War, a costly and divisive conflict, cast a long shadow over the Great Society, diverting resources and attention away from domestic programs. Critics argued that the Great Society programs were too bureaucratic and created a culture of dependency. They contended that the programs did not adequately address the root causes of poverty, and in some cases, exacerbated existing social problems. The debate over the effectiveness and legacy of the Great Society continues to this day, reflecting the complexities of social policy and the enduring challenge of achieving social justice. Section 7. LBJ's Enduring Vision, a Call to Action. Lyndon B. Johnson's vision of a great society, though ultimately unrealized in its entirety, remains a powerful testament to the potential of collective action and the importance of social responsibility. His ambitious programs, launched during a period of profound social and political change, left an indelible mark on American society, expanding opportunity, reducing poverty, and promoting greater equality. The Great Society serves as a reminder that the pursuit of social justice is an ongoing endeavor, requiring constant vigilance, commitment, and a willingness to address systemic inequalities. LBJ's legacy challenges us to confront the unfinished business of the Great Society